Bridle joints are typically found in delicate molded frameworks, such as divided light mullions in windows and the doors of fancy display cabinets. This joint requires cutting two different dado widths. Set up the dado stop in the normal way as shown in the instructions, using a piece of the vertical stock first, and set the blade height to about 1/3 the thickness of your material, in this case about 1/4 inch. Unlike a half lap, the bridle joint requires two shoulders to be cut on opposite faces of the horizontal stock. In a divided light framework like this, the vertical pieces are carrying all the load. So most of the material removed for the joinery will be removed from the horizontal parts. Once the two shoulders are cut, a quick check verifies the setup. Later in the process, we're going to need to cut an accurate dado in the vertical parts that will fit the cut we just made. So we're going to use the current setup to cut a tenon on the end of a sample block made from a scrap of our horizontal material. Now, without changing the dado stop setup, the saw blade is raised to about half the width of the frame, and the half lap section of the joint is cut, completing the bridle section from which the joint gets its name. The terminology has nothing to do with weddings, but rather from the bit and bridle that are used to control a horse. This section goes in the mouth that we'll be cutting next. Now we're going to leave the saw blade height alone, but reset leg number 3 of the dado stop. And since we can't use the bridle joint itself that we just set up, that's why we cut the setup block earlier. Now it's just a matter of cutting a simple dado into our vertical stock using the dado stop in the normal fashion. The bridle joint is really a modified half lap joint, but it allows for the molding on the front and the rabbet on the back that a divided light framework requires. You can find out more about the MATCHFIT Dado Stop and all our great products by visiting our website at www.microjig.com.
Microjig. Work safer. Work smarter.